This is RD Sharma solution, class 12, chapter 13, derivatives as a rate measure. Multiple choice question we are taking. V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, volume is given. At what rate in cubic units is V increasing? When radius is equal to 10 and dr by dt is equal to 0.01. Now we have this volume as 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now at what rate the volume is increasing, that is we are interested in dV by dt. So first we'll take V is 4 by 3 pi r cube. And dV by dt will be what? It will be, in previous question I told you that it will be 4 pi r square dr by dt, because 3 r cube is 3 r square, 3 gets cancelled, you get 4 pi r square, and then we have dr by dt also because we are differentiating with respect to t. So 4 pi r square, r is what? 10. So it will be 10 into 10, that is 10 100. And then we have dr by dt, which is 0.01. So just put it here, 0.01. So this is 1 by 100. You can just cancel this 10 into 10 with 100 and you will get 4 pi dV by dt. This is volume cubic unit by time. It will be cubic unit by time. What is the answer? This 4 pi is your answer. Side of an equilateral triangle expands at the rate of 2 centimeter per second. So side, if you assume it to be S or X. So in equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal and all the angles are also equal. So these angles and side are equal. Actually, the angles are 60 degree each. So if you assume the side to be X, dx by dt is given as 2 centimeter per second. The rate of increase of its area when each side is 10 centimeter. Area is what? This A, dA by dt. This has to be computed when each side is 10 centimeters, so x is equal to 10. So we have area formula like this. So just write like this. I'm just differentiating it. dA by dt is going to be equal to root 3 by 4 x square. Differentiation of x square will be 2x. Then we have dx by dt. Okay, x square we have assumed it s as x. So we have root 3 by 4 to what is x here? This dx by dt is already given, x is also given, x is 10 and dx by dt is also given, which is 2. So you can just cancel it out. It is 10 root 3 and centimeters square per second, because area by time is centimeters square per second. So this is your answer. So what is the option you are going to choose and how are you going to write, if at all you have to write? This is the way. Now the radius of the sphere is changing at the rate of 0.1 centimeter per second. So basically dr by dt is given as 0.1 centimeter per second. The rate of change of its surface area when the radius is 200 centimeters. So rate of change of its surface area is 4 pi r square. So surface area is what? Surface area is 4 pi r square. So assume it to be s, it will be better to understand. So this ds by dt is going to be 4 pi r square is 2r dr by dt. So we need this, what is 8 pi, this is 2 and this is 0.1. Okay, so r is 200 centimeter and this is 1 by 10. 0.1 is 1 by 10. So when you compute this, you are going to get C ds by dt and the rate of change of surface area. So this computation is 160 pi centimeter square per second. This is your answer. Now this is the reference for you how actually I did it. This is how you're going to write. A cone whose height is always equal to its diameter is increasing in volume at the rate of 40 centimeter cube per second. So this is radius and the whole is diameter. Diameter is 2r. So the height is always equal to the diameter. So diameter is d or 2r you can write. This is one situation. Is increasing in volume at the rate of this. So dV by dt is 40 centimeter cube per second. At what rate is the radius increasing? So dr by dt has to be computed, and when its circular base area is 1 meter square. Circular base area is pi r square in this case. So pi r square is 1 meter square. So we have centimeter meter, so either convert 14 centimeter cube into meter cube or this 1 meter square as centimeter square. 1 meter as 100 centimeters, so it will be 100 square. It will be 10 to the power 4, 10000. So 10 to the power 4 centimeter square is the pi r square. Volume is 1 by 3 pi r square h. So we have to find out the radius rate. So we have to eliminate h. H is already given as 2r. So we have 2 by 3 pi r cube v. Now let us find dy by dt. dv by dt will be 2 by 3 pi r cube will be 3r square dr by dt. And then you can cancel this 3. We have 2 pi r square dr by dt. So in case of pi r square, just put 10 to the power 4 that we have already computed. This is dr by dt. So dv by dt is this 40. You can put it here. So dr by dt is 40 divided by 2 divided by 10 to the power 4. So you can just write it like this. 1 0 you can cancel. That is, this is 2 by 1000. So you just see that there is only one option which is 0.002 centimeter per second, because we have converted everything into centimeter. 2 by 1000 centimeter per second, that is 0.002, and that is the answer. You have to choose the fourth option in this, and the way you have to do it, I explained you what has to be answered, what is being given, and this is the whole reference for you. Let me just clear it so that you see this content very clearly. These are the step-by-step writing work. A cylindrical vessel of radius 0.5 meter is filled with oil at the rate of 0.25 pi meter cube per minute. So this is meter cube, so we are given dV by dt, and that is 0.25 pi. And then the rate at which the surface of the oil is rising. So height, how this content is increasing, the oil in this case. So the rate of change of height we have to find out. dH by dt we have to find out. So volume is pi r square h. Now it's better that those things which are constant we can just directly write it, rather than differentiating in the product rule. We have to assume r square is constant, then we have to differentiate h, and vice versa in the next case. So I'm just writing this as 0.5. This is already given, 0.5 whole square, and this is r square. And this dH by dt, differentiate both sides, dV by dt. So this is 0.25 pi, denominator of pi, 0.5 into 0.5 is again 0.25. So the numerator denominator will get cancelled out. dH by dt is simply 1. There is cancellation. So there is only one thing which I want to highlight is, rather than differentiating everything using the product rule, whatever is constant, just put it here. You just have to differentiate h. Rather than differentiating r square h as the product rule, I took this r because it is already fixed. Our radius is not increasing. Please remember, the content is increasing in the fixed shape of right circular cylinder. So it is 1 meter per minute. That is your answer. The distance moved by the particle in time t is given by this. X equals to tq minus 12t square plus 6t plus 8. At the instant when its acceleration is 0, the velocity is. Now distance, the rate of change of distance is velocity. The rate of change of velocity is acceleration. This is how they are related. So dv by dt is acceleration. At the instant when the acceleration is 0. So we'll find out first dx by dt, we'll find out dv by dt, we'll put it at 0, and then whatever comes, we'll again put it back to dx by dt. You'll just see, because velocity has to be. So this x is t cube minus 12t square. I'll just differentiate. Okay, I'm directly differentiating it. This t cube is 3t square, 12 into 24t, and this will remain as 6. This is going to be 0. So this is dx by dt. Now that is velocity. Now acceleration, dv by dt we have to find out. So we have to again differentiate this content. But remember, this content will be used just now. So 3 to 60 minus 24, this gets cancelled. The acceleration is 0 at the instance when the acceleration is 0. So just put it as 0. 60 is 24, t is 6 4 is 24, so t is 4. Now t is 4 here. Now put this t in this expression so that you get the dv by dt, the dx by dt, which is velocity. So I'm putting t as 4 in this expression, rounded expression. Then it is negative. So dx by dt, which is the volume, velocity. When the acceleration is 0, this is the answer. So there is a relationship between velocity, distance, and acceleration. You need to know. Then only you will be able to solve this. The altitude of a cone is 20 centimeter and its semi-vertical angle is 30 degrees. So cone is like this. It can be upright. It can be like that also. It can be like a hat. It can be like a cone or ice cream cone. This is R. This is H. This is your alpha angle. Altitude is fixed. Height is 20 centimeters. Semi-vertical angle is 30 degrees. So the semi-vertical is changing and the radius is changing, but the height is not changing. Please remember, height will remain as same. So d alpha by dt is 2 degree per second, and the radius of the base is increasing at the rate of. So dr by dt has to become. So we will use the trigonometric identities here. We have r as perpendicular, h as base for this alpha. So tan alpha is r by h. Let us differentiate. Tan alpha is sec square alpha. Alpha will be d alpha by dt. And in the right hand side, height is fixed. So we'll just put it as 1 by 20 centimeter, and r is dr by dt. So we have d alpha by dt. We have to dr by dt. See, cos alpha or cos 30 degree. This is 30 degree, right? Cos 30 degrees is root 3 by 2. So sec will be the invert of this, 2 by root. I'll put it here, 2 by root 3 whole square. dl alpha by dt is 2 degree, and then we have 20 will go in that side, dr by dt. So when you compute this, you'll get the answer as 160 by 3, I guess, right? I'll just compute it because computation is quite easy. The main thing is that h which is 20, has to be kept as 20 in this case. Then we have to use the trigonometric identity, which I used. Tan alpha is r by h, because sometimes you may use some sin alpha, cos alpha, but since r and h is given, I have specifically taken tan alpha. So 160 by 3 centimeter per second is your answer, dr by dt. Now let me give you a reference also. This is how you are going to make the diagram, and you have to write it. For what values of x is the rate of increase of x cube minus 5x square plus 5x plus 8 is twice the rate of increase of x. Now this rate, now assume it to be same y. Now the what values of x is the rate of increase of this content, that is, just assume that we are talking about dy by dt. This is equal to 2 dx by dt, because it is twice the rate of increase of x, so twice of dx by dt. So let us differentiate this. Dy by dt I am taking 3x square minus 10x plus 5, 8 will not be there. And see, once you have differentiated it, this dx by dt also will come, because we are differentiating with respect to what? We are differentiating with respect to t, remember. So twice of dx by dt will come here on the right, and on the left also, because we are differentiating with respect to t, dx by dt will also come. That is the only catch. First we made an equality, which is dy by dt is twice dx by dt. Y is the expression here. So y, whatever content is there, so dy by dt is twice of dx by dt. That we started, right? Now when you differentiate dy by dt, because we are differentiating with respect to t and x is the content, x is the variable, we have to introduce dx by dt on the left also. Dx by dt is right also. So let me write dx by dt for completion, and you can cancel dx by dt. You will get a quadratic equation that you can solve easily. So 3x square minus 10x, and this 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. So plus 3 equals 0. So 3x square, this is, you can just write it as minus 9x minus x plus 3 equals 0. 3x, you can take common, x minus 3, minus 1 common, x minus 3 equals 0. So x minus 3 into 3x minus 1 equals 0. From here, x equals to 3. From here, x equals to 1 by 3. This is your answer. Concept, I hope you got the idea. First, make an equality, differentiate both sides, make a quadratic equation, solve for x, and that is the point which will solve your answer. This will take in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much and take care of yourself.